Hey, Shawn Clement here from the Richmond Hill Golf Learning Center. Today we're in kill mode, right? We're going to be reapplying the great driver tip. Now, obviously with a little bit better audio, I got my black microphone instead of my silver microphone so you guys don't think I'm a priest. So, here we go. Now, I've just set up a nice little door frame here, a mock door frame right in front of the ball. If you go back to my Golf Pro lesson, Feel and Let the Hammer Through, as well as my Golf Pro lesson, Feel Your Swing Plane, we're talking about using the weight of the hammer to release itself through the door frame and towards a specific target. Now, this got me into the right frame of mind to find my exact ball position with my driver. I've got a new Ping driver, the I-15, and I realized that because of the width of the head, it actually moved my ball position a little more forward, unbeknownst. So if I play, here's how you do it. If I play the ball too far forward, and I get into position here, and don't worry about what you see right now, I'll explain the setup in a little bit if you haven't seen my Golf Pro lesson, Great Driver Tip. So I'm getting into position to use the weight of my hammer to compress that ball into the door frame. So if I'm too far from the ball, and I use the weight of my arm club unit, you notice it's going to bottom out right about here, and the rest of the distance I'm going to have to lunge after it. If I play the ball too far back in my stance, now I've been playing my ball just a little inside my left instep, even for my draw. And so if I look at this position here and I do the weight of the hammer against the door frame, you'll notice now this feels really solid, really good, but the club face is a little too open at this point, and that's going to tend to squirt the ball out to the right. So I got a couple of choices here. If to the right is not where I want to be, I'm going to tend to have to reach back. So I'm going to have to reach back to get to the golf ball, and if I reach back too far, I'm going to tend to hook it and fall back. If I don't reach back, then I'm going to squirt it out to the right. So I figure, okay, I bombed a few out to the right rough, and I figure, okay, I'm just going to aim down the left side and bomb it down the middle of the fairway. Well, when everything's going well, that works. When it doesn't, then I start kissing the left side of the fairway a little too much. Now, the ideal ball position for me with this club is right here. So you notice it's right off my big toe of my left foot. This really feels here like I can use the weight of that hammer to pin it up against the door frame. I feel extremely balanced. And what this did for me was give me the opportunity to really put an assertive swing on it. So using the weight of the hammer, and I've got just tremendous balance in my finish. That was my first swing of the day with the driver, and you can see how bolted I am to the ground. Everything came through with mass, with weight. I didn't force it. I am assisting the weight, the momentum of my swing. I'll give you one more here. Nice. Feel the weight of that arm club unit. This is so important. It's like heaving an axe. You need to feel its weight. My eyes are on the back of the ball, not on the club head, okay? And my focus is on the release of the hammer out here. So I know that when I use the weight of my arm club unit to pin that ball against the door frame, there's through the door frame, and there's where the release occurs. There's where the snap is, okay? So I'm looking at the back of the ball, but my attention is way out here in letting the weight of that hammer snap itself. So here we go. And that just feels so solid. I can really rip the club. So I feel like I've got my best drive 100% of the time now, which is a good thing. So now if we look at the setup, the reason why I'm setting up the ball here, you watch this. I'll put the door frame back in here. And this is what most of you will tend to do. You play the ball forward in your stance, and then you go face the ball. So you notice at this position here with the door frame, it looks like I'm going to bend the nail to the left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my hands forward. Look familiar? So now my hands are forward. It looks like I'm going to nail it into the door frame, but I'm still brushing across, because if you look at my shoulders, they're way open to my target line, all right? Way open to the target itself. So like a soccer kicker, all right, or a football kicker, if I brush across the ball this way, the soccer ball is going to tend to curve to the right. So if I open my shoulders, because the ball is forward, and then I try to square it up with my hands, I am in a very awful position to swing a driver. And this is why a lot of you have trouble with that driver. So what I want to do is I want to find the center position here, let everything hang. This is what Mo used to do, Mo Norman. 91% fairways hit in regulation, lifetime average. How's that? So from this position here, eyes are on the back of the ball. I'm feeling the weight of the hammer, using the weight of the hammer to compress that ball into the door frame. Now look at my impact position. Hips are open, shoulders slightly open, feels like I'm going to tag that ball straight into that door frame, and everything feels extremely powerful and accurate. All right? So do not face the ball, face the center of the stance, feel that weight, then use that weight to crush it. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, let me know. Stay tuned for the next video.